tolerance going now?
Not great. Jesus Christ, if I had Roy Keane beside me, I would have hit him a dunt on the way up. Not good, but you have to, I work at it all the time, actually. But it doesn't, I had a fierce, interesting chat with Paul Galvin one night. So I used to room with Galvin for a while, and he had desperate problems as well with freaking his tolerance or his, two of us, anger issues, yeah. But we were talking about once the snap goes, that's it. There's no pulling back, there's no explaining, it's terrible, like. So it never bothered me in championship because you'd be focused in, but in league, it was terrible, like.
Can you give me any particular example?
There was one day, I was living in Cork for the whole thing. So I remember, I don't know what year it was during the league, and I was after getting sent off twice, and I was back. This is a true story, and I was back, and Jack rang me the night before, and he says, "Are you all right?" I said, "I'm good. I'm all right. There's no problem." So we went out with a league game in Killarney against Laois, I think. And in fairness, your man never went down. Who was it? It was one of the midfielders. I was at home before the match was over again. I was gone after about 15 minutes, so I just left, and I was at home before the game was over. My wife was looking at me coming in the door. But yeah, I wasn't, but never in championship. The only time I got sent off in championship was against the boys down in Thurles, way back, long time ago.
Michael, Darragh, what was the week of an All-Ireland final like up here?
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
You need to jump in on that one. I distinctly remember, I'm pretty sure it's his last ever game, and I was running down the Hogan stand as much as I can run, and this fella hit me the biggest uppercut I think I've ever got in my stomach, and I've never recovered from the winding I've got since. I think he did well the rest that day, to be fair. Sorry, what you were saying?
Just the week of an All-Ireland final. I think you've said it before about how kind of inconspicuous you can be up here, whereas the Kerry lads, they're meeting people on the street and everybody wants to talk about their game. Did you always kind of feel at times it was maybe a blessing to be in a big city and be maybe anonymous the week of a big game?
It's actually something you don't really appreciate. There's obviously pros and cons of it. And I spent a bit of time with Tommy Walsh yesterday, and he was saying the same. He just said it's madness down there, and I actually appreciate it. I was actually down for a wedding recently, and I got more photos and selfies in Kerry in a weekend than I would in a year in Dublin, and generally that's a fact. So I think he said you just have to kind of bury the head down there. He's it's all encompassing, I think, and down here it depends where you are. If you want to find selfies and that sort of crack, you can find it, but I think it's probably a little easier, so it's less all-encompassing, I suppose. Yeah.
Were there any particular lads that would like to find the selfies and would go to these places where they're going to be mobbed by people?
We all know there's a few lads loving a selfie, but we won't out them here. We'll be nice.